around September 24th, 2012. Day away, early morning, around 2:45-ish, Weez was shot and killed. Dijon Smith and his uncle had life-threatening injuries, 39-year-old man, and died of his injuries after being transported to the hospital. But getting into it, like, who was Weez? Because he wasn't a rapper. Alleged member of Gutter, South Sac gang, and all that type of shit. But short story, because it's not really a full report on like who they claim to be that he was. But I know him, but not really personally, because we used to live like around the corner from each other and shit. And probably smoked once or twice before just by being in the area and seeing each other. And, you know, one day I might have asked him for some weed, or he might have asked me, did I have some weed? And we end up smoking and shit like that. But him as a person, like just being around him a couple of times, he wasn't like an aggressive type of guy that led me to think that. And he knew where I was from, I knew where he was from, but it wasn't no problems or no shit like that. And besides, it wasn't like problems back then like that anyway between our gangs or none of that type of shit. So, like, my point is, like, what was the significance of, like, him being part of the Mozzie diss of the truth when he said F a Weez and F Gutter like a motherfucker? But it makes sense now that I think of it. It didn't kind of back then, because I'm like, dude like my age, he was like my age at that time, and I'm pretty sure like Mozzie didn't know him personally, but I know he knew probably just of the situation and was just, you know, just another part of making niggas mad and that type of shit. So, yeah, man, he was like one of them type of persons, just a regular, average guy, street dude. And this is around the time, 2012, like, shit start really, like, kicking off, like, as far as, like, diss songs. Like, that's getting recognized in that time frame, 2011 and beyond. But his name came up, like, right in the beginning of that song. And a lot of people don't know who Weez was, but he was just an average street guy, you know, and died at a house party, like many unfortunate teenagers around that time, and like between 2009, 2008, I would say, maybe a little before that and beyond that. But this is a short story, man. I want to reach out to his peoples and shit and just, you know, get a small summary on like him as a person. But he is a person that's like, I would say, kind of like forgot about, because it happened so early on, like especially with this music shit, and it wasn't in a good way or none of that shit. It was in a diss song or whatever. But, you know, this is the who is Weez, you know. It's not really a story, just a little segment. But yeah, man, it's Sacramento Street Wars. Just making it small, just putting it out there for people to, you know, in remembrance, I should say.